Hey, hey, whoa, hang on. Court, I forgot a very important detail. Welcome, everybody, to my third live chat. Decided we would get it going because I have a lot to talk about this time. And after coming back from SHOT Show and everything that I saw there and what I learned about CZUSA, I wanted a chance to talk about it above and beyond the video. And it's one of those things where a live chat and being able to get feedback from people right there and then live is really cool. And I avoided it for years and years and years, and then decided that, hey, it's time to get to know the people on the TFG channel a little bit better. And that's why I began doing this. And also, you may notice no more blur. I had it blurred from this point forward, and people said it was distracting. So I got rid of the blur. Anyhow, SHOT Show was, let's just say, SHOT Show. It was the same type of event, people running around, people trying to see certain things, and a lot of people going to the same booths. Like I mentioned in the video I put up yesterday, I said that everybody was running to see the Daniel H9 and the staccatos. Uh, CZ, not so much. I'm going to take a minute and talk about that very shortly. But I enjoyed it, but I also haven't been to several SHOT Shows now. Decided I was only going to go to the show for one day because of the Beretta event. I went in early, went to a Beretta event, and had a great time there. And let's see. Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it, man. Wow, right away. I appreciate it. I use these readers all the time. I have contacts in, but the readers certainly help. That will definitely go toward ammo. The SHOT Show or the Bread event was great. I had a chance to shoot all these guns that I probably would not have the opportunity to shoot, and it was awesome. I was shooting rifles at 1,000 yards, which is not a long way. It's the first time I also ever shot 338 Lapua, and that round is massive. And it's really good to see everybody in here. Perhaps we'll get more at halftime with there's a certain football game going on right now, I'm told. So that's what happened. I went to the Brady event. Boy, that the one video that I made that did very poorly is the Squallow. It's called the Squallow 99XI Squallow, and that one did poorly, and I don't know why. That one turned out to be my favorite one. But I want to take a minute and talk about CZ because when I made that video, and that was all an idea. I'm flying home, and I could not believe what I saw and what I felt and what I heard with CZ and what's going on with them, and how Colt has taken over the finances, at least in the US. And it's bad. And the morale amongst the employees with CZ is really bad. They saw a lot of their buddies get laid off. They saw a lot of the US side of things slashed by Colt. Now, it is my belief that Colt is running the US operations for Colt slash CZ Group. Notice it's not CZ slash Colt Group, it's Colt CZ. And the morale is really down, and people are leaving on their own accord, and people are getting let go against their will. And so what is happening at CZ is you're seeing very little new stuff coming out, not just this year, but last year as well. And then you're seeing Colt having a bigger booth, a not bigger than CZ, but a larger presence and more things going on over there. But they're really not doing too much. When the biggest move from a Colt side of things is when they came out with the snake guns, the Cobra, the uh, the Python. You know, all their snake guns was something that was highly requested. What wasn't requested was the high price tags. And some of the experiences that so many people had with the Colt revolvers has not been that good. A lot of people said, you know, I did nothing but have problems, and Colt was not there to take care of me. And at that time, you could say, well, they probably cut their manpower because they were going through a bankruptcy. Well, when CZ acquired Colt, they tripled their debt to acquire Colt, and then Colt ended up laying off the CZ people, and all of a sudden they get better financials in 2023. And so, one of the ways you get better financials, I'm not saying a better run company. I'm saying better financials is to cut your labor force because you get rid of that expenditure and now your numbers look better. And it gives somebody the impression that, oh, wow, the company must be doing well because now they're making money. They're not necessarily making money, they're not losing as much money on the labor side of things because they cut off people and the morale at CZ is horrible. Now, after I made that video, people told me that they are coming out with an upgraded P10C. And I've noticed that a lot of their in stock guns that have been around for a while have dropped in price pretty drastically. If you look at the site, $399 for a gun that used to be $499 and even higher. There was a time there they were raising the prices, then they pretty much slashed them. And so the morale at Colt is poor. It is, I mean, at CZ is poor, and Colt is the reason for that. The people at CZ, they dreaded that acquisition of Colt. They didn't want it, and many of them lost their jobs because of it. And I believe everything I said that we're not going to see as many new releases. They'll release the P10C, the upgraded one, but keep in mind that was on the works and probably already beginning the testing phases prior to the acquisition of Colt. And I think CZ is running the European side. I think Colt is running the US side, and it's not good for CZ. Such a loved company, such a loved manufacturer, and yet I'm getting a ton of feedback from people saying, "Yeah, I love them and everything, but when I had a problem, they were not there for me." So I don't know if that's the way thing. If that's going to be the new reality, we're going to see CZ go the same route as Colt. Some people said I was looking at it from a wrong direction, but I don't think so. I think it was the right direction. I Another thing, Bursa, I'm telling you, Bursa, if you recall, 2 years ago, they started making ARs. And then they made the 9 millimeter pistol caliber carbines, and they also made them in pistols. And they did a great job. They call it the Bar series, Bursa AR, and they did a great job. And you know, it came out of nowhere. Nobody saw that coming. But when they came out with 1911s and the double stack 9 and the full size BP 9, people were so excited about that. A lot of Bursa fans out there, a lot of Bursa fans. So here we see an established company. I don't want to say an American company with CZ, but an established manufacturer that has has done so well in the US for so many years going downhill, and you see an Argentinian company, Argentinian, if that's a word, company, Bursa, move to the US and begin to kill it in the US market. And they've always killed it in the US market, but they're making a presence and very well-known presence as well. Let me get out to the chat here and see who's here. I can see ET Sniping, Chuck R, B Watt, Res Baron, Dino, Big Hero, Dime Story Harry, Johnny Appalachia, Trigger Figure Studios. Good to see everybody. Danny Levette. Good to see GB58, Kurt 24, Scott Sewell, J Mock, Jim 88, TAB Videos, Riders Range, Fluffy's in the house. Wow, great to see you guys. Thanks for coming aboard. Figured I'd do it on a Sunday night, football game or no football game. Hey, we have things to talk about. The Car X9. First of all, I want to tell you a little something about the Car X9. Super excited about it. Been a car fan for a long time. The model that I received was a pre-production model. That is not the same one that I saw at NRA last year in Indianapolis. It's totally different. Well, it's not totally different, but what's different is the barrel length. They had a 3-inch barrel. It was the size of a PM9, very small double stack with the very nice disassemble. I'm not sure why they went with the longer barrel, 3.54-inch barrel, but they did. But the little story I want to tell you is I decided I'm going to do a little YouTube search to see who else reviewed the gun. It shot. We just had shot. Who reviewed it? Well, TFB reviewed it. But then upon my search, I see that there's my video that got stolen, and this guy's banking views on my work. And it's really interesting because these people, after they download the video and then I have it removed, which is what I did, they say, hey, why did you remove my video? That's what they think. They think because they downloaded it and put it up on the channel that it's their video and they own it and they worked for it. And I put a comment on there. I said, remove the video or I will copyright you. And they said, hey, I can use it. And basically, there's not much you can do about it. So I copyrighted them, and today it's gone. But that's what these video thieves do. They take your work and then they think it's their work. And they say, hey, that's my video. It's not your video. You didn't do anything for that. And so, anyways, I'm expecting an email now because they say, hey, man, that wasn't cool. You reported me, and now I lost my video. It never was your video. Anybody could download it. Anybody could do a screen copy with a video editor. And we have Smash Time in the house with 556. Thanks, buddy. 5.56. Smash Time has a video right now that is flourishing. It is on the Palmetto State Armory. He does a whole booth review of all the new, they call them concept guns at Palmetto State Armory. They call them concept guns, and they want everybody to go and vote and see which ones they want done in specific order. And I'm voting for the shotguns. I want shotguns. I haven't done much of shotguns lately. We have Cam Outdoors in the house. We have Romans, Smash Time, in the year 2525, Roger Ray, TAB Videos. Hey, thanks, guys. Good to see everybody here. So the Car X9 is different than the one I saw. I saw it privately at the NRA. It was much smaller. This one would be like a mid-size, but yet a subcompact in the same category. So that's what's happening with the Car X9. I don't know if you guys are excited about it. I certainly am excited about it. You can change the trigger. They're going to make it so that you'll have a lighter trigger with a shorter reset, or go with the original car trigger. They really want to give people what they want. And have you ever seen a handgun that could take a Sig mag and a Hellcat mag and the car mag all at one type of handgun? I've never seen that happen before. Does Cam ask, does the new car have a mag conversion, or can it can just take both mags along with the car mags? Now, I never got the car mags, but they had them in shot already, and they're perfect. Like they fit in there nice and tight. They're great. And you can take all three mags. It's incredible engineering is what it is to be able to do that. That's crazy. And I'll do a better job this time of trying to get over here and get into the chat and see what's going on over there. By the way, if you're here, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button, help with the algorithm, maybe get some views of people that would normally not make it here. But I believe it's halftime with the Lions game. They were up when I left. I'm in Michigan. Probably not for long. Probably not for long. The politics here are horrible. Horrible. The best thing I saw in any videos I thought was neat was the 511 sport coat. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. 511 makes some good stuff. I have quite a few of their tactical pants. The PX4 subcompact. Yeah, that's cool. I have a PX4. It's a Type D double action only. Shoots great. 17 round mags, rotating barrel. But the subcompacts, I never really got into them. I never thought that the subcompacts were awesome. Now I know they shoot well and there's not a problem with them, but I never really got into them to go out and make a purchase where I wanted to have one. I really want that 92XI Squallow. That's really what I want. May I say it this way? Eventually, I will get that. I don't care how much it costs. What else do we have over here? All right. So everybody, the chat's moving pretty quick. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Hey, Louis Maldonado. I forgot some friends named Maldonado. Good friends, by the way. I have the Spanish channel going. It's rocking and rolling. I actually put some of my Bursa videos while I was there. I had them do some the 1911, the subcompact 9 millimeter, and the BP9 full size. I had them do that in Spanish. It's called the Firearm Guy en Espanol. So if you speak Spanish, go over there and check it out and see what you think. I enjoy having two channels, and perhaps in a month or two, I might be able to show you two silver play buttons. So we'll see what happens there. So hit that like button for me. One of the things I have been pondering, and I've been on the fence about this for a long time, and I thought if I have channel members where channel members, they make a monthly donation, if you will. The reason that I would want that is the very reason I want to do this, and that is to get to know people better, to show them a different side, let them know what's going on in advance. But also, I was thinking if I start channel memberships, not to enrich myself, but to have a group of people who are dedicated to this channel, what could I do for them? And I came up with something. I did not start it yet. I just want to get some feedback in the chat of who would consider being a channel member if we did member chats only, if we did monthly giveaways. And let me tell you why I came up with that. I have a ton of stuff that has never been taken out of the package. Let me give you an example. Let's see. How about this? Here is a Next Bolt Supreme gun belt. This thing goes for 70 bucks. I would give this away on the membership. I would do it monthly. Give away this belt. That's one item. When I was at the bread event, I got these muffs, these Beretta muffs. I keep extra muffs in my range bag and some extra plugs in my range bag for when that time comes when you have a new shooter and they just show up and you want to be able to hand them something. These are pretty good. This is not garbage. And so I would give this away. I've got a ton of knives, both fixed blade and flippers that I could give away. I've got a ton of hats that have never been used before. I've got a lot of, shall we say, swag that would be beneficial to somebody. I have bags of tannerite like substance that I would give to channel members. So give me a quick shout in the chat if you will. If you would be interested in a channel membership. Don't worry about saying no. Uh, Tim said if CZ closes down, that would suck. Yeah, it would. But what sucks even more for the company is that they acquired Colt, and now Colt's running the show. Knives and Hats, Douglas says, I keep watching. Okay, I'm in. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Douglas. 6'8" guy. 6'8" guy. I'm not sure you understand. Now, I've known Big Doug for a long time. Years ago, we were always in touch. He actually made videos. This guy, he goes like 6'6". He's just this massive human being, but he's so cheap when he walks, he squeaks. He wouldn't even pay for the oil to to lube himself up if he had to. And he says he's going to be a channel member. I'll believe it when I see it, Doug. I understand that, Dale, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get rich off it. I completely understand. Um, what do we have here? We have some people that say they would do it. Okay, so I'm going to set that up. I'm going to set it up. My wife is laughing too. Here's Big Doug. You can see this monster of a guy. This guy, good grief. I would be like a little midget next to him. Another handgun that really impressed me at SHOT Show was the SDR revolver made by Diamondback. And it was really weird because I said I have to go see that revolver because that thing looks awesome. And so I went and found the Diamondback booth, and I went there, and it was just a piece of paper hanging sideways on the wall, and there was no booth. So I'm like, oh well, okay, they're not here. I walked out of Caesar's Forum, and I hear, "Hey, Dan." And there they are, two guys from Diamondback. I said, that's crazy. Out of this huge, massive place, you two I just ran into, and I went to go find you guys. They said, you have to see our revolver. I said, that's what I'm trying to do. They said, go over right over here to Davidson's and see that revolver. It's called the FDR9. I go, you don't need to tell me a thing. I know all about it. And they invited me to the industry range day, and I declined because I don't like the range. I love range days. I don't like that range day. And so I decided to not go. And so what happened was I went and looked at this revolver. And would you believe that that revolver that is, I don't know if it's a true stainless, but it feels that way. But it's extremely shiny. So that makes me think that it's coated with something. But that revolver has an MSRP of 540, and it's a 6-shot 357 Magnum with a 2-inch barrel. Show me a Smith and Wesson in 357, not 38, for an MSRP of 540. Now, is it everything that Smith and Wesson is? I don't know. I haven't shot it. I have to shoot it, but it has pretty decent sights, nice trigger. It just checks all the mandatories with a quality revolver. And they actually hinted to me a while back. They said, "You're not going to believe what we're going to come up with next." I said, "A revolver, aren't you?" And without saying anything, the guy just gave me a look. I go, "Yep, you're coming out with a revolver. I know you are because you already have the Sidekick and 22 Magnum and 22 long rifle. A lot of people love that. A lot of people love that with an MSRP of three 325, I believe, if I remember correctly, for a CZ pattern handgun or Tanfolio. Tanfolio. I love Tanfolio. And it's so funny because for years people would say, you have to try Tanfolio. What's the matter with you? You go buy all these guns and you must be rich, and I'm not rich. Okay, let's just get that out there right now. But people think I'm rich. I'm smart. I'm smart with my money. I think you guys should be too. If you're not, I'm smart. I don't blow my money. I don't do all these things that cost money that are senseless. So I like guns, and that's what I do. So always have way before videos. Anyhow, people said you have to check out Tanfolio. Then I got the Tanfolio Defiant Stock Master. That thing, I'm not even kidding. That thing literally shoots itself. The first time I took that out of the case, took it to the range, and I was just ringing steel one after another. And I'm like, good grief, you just put this fiber optic front sight over that target and you're golden. And it was. So I'm a huge fan of Tanfolio. It's some of their higher end models at $4,000 and $5,000, but they sure are nice. Interested in the SAR revolvers? Yep, they're cool too. And the SAR revolvers now have special Cerakotes. I saw one in OD green with G10 grips. They look super cool, Soggy. The SAR revolvers look super cool. Um, yeah, CT monthly giveaways with channel memberships. I'm thinking about doing that. And I'm not going to be pressuring anybody or asking people to join and give money to me. But in order to create channel memberships, you have to ask for some money because that's how YouTube set this up. They set it up primarily for YouTube, but I'm thinking I could benefit the people who do that. And so that is that is what I'm thinking about doing here. Cam says he's interested in the Henry Supreme that takes AR mags. Yeah, that would be cool. Henrys are great. I've got the Homesteader and the lever action axe, and I love both of those. One thing with Henry, and I don't, unless you actually held and shot a Henry, they are so well put together. And you ever grab a gun and you could just tell the craftsmanship is first class. You can just tell. You feel it. You work the action. You're like somebody put a lot of time, effort, and energy into this, and Henry is that company too. And I still want to get a Henry 357. I really do. How do you feel about Stoger releasing the STR 45? I'm starting to like the Stoger STR line. Yes, I like that. Hang on, where'd that go? Here it is. Yes. I was, believe it or not, I was on the cutting edge. I didn't get preferential treatment, but I was on the cutting edge reviewing the original Stoger STR9, and it was it was great. And I was like, this thing is really cool. Deep cut slide serrations, nice trigger, decent magazine capacity. A lot of people say, well, I don't know where to get mags for the Stoger STR models. Well, they sell them right on the Stoger site. That's where you have to go, to the Stoger site. They have them in stock. Yes, they're a little bit more money. You're going to pay for it somewhere, and they offer their guns in packages, so you can get additional back straps, night sights, extra mags as the most expensive package, or you can get the basic package, which is what I got. And I got the gun with no other back straps and no other magazines and just regular iron sights, and it was totally fine, completely fine. And then I got the STR9C, and I have the full size right now. Oh, Ryder says I have to shoot his Henry X in 357. Sir, you are correct. If you ever see my videos where I have a plate rack over here, then a 25 yard over there, and blah blah. That's at Ryder's Range. He makes videos. He put a great review up today on the Vanish holster, the thing that you wrap around and Velcro and everything. And I watched that and I learned a lot about the Vanish holster. It's one of the things you get bombarded with internet ads, but you say, I don't know how interested I am in these things. And then I was able to learn about them with Rider's Range video. So check that out for sure. That is a good video. And he breaks it down and gives all these examples of different sizes of firearms, and they say, well, it'll fit 99%. Well, yeah, from a compact size down below, but anything full size, forget about it. That trigger is exposed. What else do we have here? This is pretty cool. Oh, thanks, man. We'll put that up there. going live on Sunday. I'm usually working when everyone else goes live. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Blizzy. And it was just weird. I said, you know what? I got back from shot and I figure I'm going to go ahead and do this. So anyhow, getting back to SHOT Show, eh, one of the things that I enjoy are just is just meeting the people that I know and hanging out with people. You cannot go to SHOT Show without feeling like you missed something, and I did. Even in the comments here, people are saying, "What about this?" or "What about that?" Well, I didn't see it. You know, it you just can't see it all. I am curious to know if anybody has experience with CV Life, with their optics and their slings and their mounts and their bipods. CV Life, budget stuff. They have been hounding me. CV Life has, excuse me for 1 minute here. My dollar store readers broke, which is interesting because if you get dollar store readers, which is what I do, they break. So get at least 3 pair and you'll be good. Scott Hillbilly Morgan says he was uh, interested in the Bursa stuff. Thoughts on the new Staccato C? Yeah, I mean, I like it. There's nothing to not like about it, D Green, but I don't think I'm going to buy it. What do you think about Bursa straight pull rifles? They are great. That was the first time I shot a straight pull rifle, and the first my muscle memory told me pull up on the handle and pull back, and it's just a straight pull, but it locks in nice and tight. So yeah, I thought it was great, but you have to teach yourself because having shot years and years of bolt rifles, that muscle memory sort of goes away with the straight pullback. But you tend to think this is kind of weird. I don't know how much I trust this. Just pull back and then charge. And I was like, dang, that is really in there because you have to give it a little bit more attention to pull it back. And you're asked what I thought about it. I loved it. I really did. And man, I was shooting $5,000-6,000 rifles with $3,000 optics at least. All right, what do we have here? Swamp Fox Kraken. Joshua says he seems like he's a fan of Swamp Fox, Kraken, Gideon Optics, Mediator, and the Omega. Yeah, I got the Omega from Gideon. Yeah, that's a good one. Swamp Fox. I also have the Kraken. I just got a rifle optic from Swamp Fox called the starts with an R. I'm looking at the box right now. Um, so yeah, I love Swamp Fox. I never even thought about Swamp Fox until Riders Range said, "You ought to check out Swamp Fox." And I did, and I bought a couple, and they've been great. Radar's what I'm thinking. Hi, Double Z Ranch from Oregon. Good to see you. Where are you? There you go, Oregon. Well, perhaps in some areas the government sure isn't Oregon. Floodgate said, I have degrees, Springfield license, tan full. Hang on, let me get this up here. Thanks, Dan. I agree. I have a Springfield license, tan folio race gun from the 80s. It was literally a half-pound trigger, so light it shouldn't be legal. Wow, be careful with that thing. I would love to shoot something that light. Man, you talk about trigger control. You would have to be on top of your game. Smash Time says, what do you think about the Keltec SYB2K? I tell you what, I hung out with Smash Time at SHOT Show, and he was pumping up that new Keltec. He said he wants it, and he wants it bad. So we'll see if he can get his hands on that. Radom guy, I want to show this because I asked about CV Life. I bought a bunch of almost all have been good. Many of the products they sell seem to be exactly the same as the other brands, both CV Life. That is what is happening. That is what is happening. Chuck says Siley for his pistol optics. Yep, that's another good one. Um, the only pistol optic that I've owned so far. Oh, I'm not crazy about the Hex. I mean, they were well, the Hex Dragonfly, I had one putter out, and then the other Hex Wasp, it's a Springfield product, that they discontinued because they had a ton of problems. But the CV Life, I may do some stuff with them. I may, because it seems to me that a lot of these companies utilize, and the gun manufacturers do the same thing, by the way. I want to talk about that. Hang on. A lot of these companies, they use the exact same model and branded with their logo. And it's happening in China every day. And you look at some of these things, they may ask for a little larger window. They may ask for a different area with the on off button or the intensity setting. They may ask for something a little different that makes it different than the competition, who's another Chinese company. But what I wanted to talk about is, are you aware that there's a factory in Turkey that makes a semi-auto shotgun for Rock Island Armory? They make another one for TriStar. They make another one for this company and that company that we never heard of. Okay, a lot of those, never heard of this company. They just appear. They just appear. And externally, it's different. Internally, it's the exact same shotgun, the exact same internal parts. Externally, oh, they put a little different rail over here. They put a different handguard. They may put a different stock. But people say, you have to try this one because this one is different. Well, perhaps where they put the sling mount might be different, or perhaps the rail may go a little longer on top compared to the other one that's shorter, but it's not different. It's the exact same shotgun produced from the same shop in Turkey. And so we have to be aware these manufacturers work with each other more than we know. For example, how many rifles have a Remington 700 bolt action or trigger action or lower receiver? How many rifles use a Ruger 1022 receiver? And they put their own barrel on there, their own stock and everything else, but they use the Ruger 1022. How many rifle companies have barrels made from this company over here and then other made from this company over here? It happens all the time. There are only a handful of companies that make rifle barrels in the US. And I was very interested to find out that CMMG is one of them. I was at their factory, and we did a factory tour, and I'm looking and I see they're pumping out these barrels. And I said, hang on here. How long have you had that machine? They said, we bought it last year. I said, you are making barrels. I just want to be clear about that. They said, yeah, we're making barrels. I said, how many companies are you sending these barrels to? They said, a lot. And that's how it is. If you want to get rich, go get a loan for $1 million, get yourself a warehouse, buy a bunch of stock steel, start cranking out barrels, let the machine do all the work. You will have more customers than you know. I know that's just a fallacy, a little bit of a trick question, but I truly believe that that's what would happen. You would get rich. What do you think of 22 TCM is dead? Yes, I do. I do. I think 5.7 is becoming more popular, even though it can be expensive to shoot. Well, same with the 22 TCM. The 22 TCM ballistically is stronger than the 5.7. And I did a little concrete test on it, and it was pretty convincing that the 22 TCM is stronger. I think it wasn't marketed well, as where FN had the 5.7, with the rifle and the handgun. And I looked up the rifle. Somebody tell me the name of that rifle. I always PS90. This FN PS90, the rifle. I'm going to do a video on this. I'm thinking about it. Is that gun even relevant anymore? That used to be a rifle that people said, I want to get my hands on that. I want to check that out. It's a rifle in 5.7. But since then, and the same curse happened to FN when Ruger announced their 5.7. And then Diamondback came out with their 5.7. And now Palmetto Arms came out with their 5.7. And so who would buy the FN 5.7 for $1,200 when you can get a Ruger for 700, or you can get a Rock 5.7 from Palmetto State Armory for 400? Who would pay $1,200? I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. But yes, I do think the 5.7 is destroying the 22 TCM. And even the Glock barrels they made Glock barrels because of 22 TCM, you can use a 9-round magazine. They made Glock barrels for the 22 TCM. Nobody was buying them. Nobody was buying them. Lazy Titan, do you know me? No, Lazy Titan, I don't know you. You never leave comments on my videos, or I would know you. That part I guarantee. No, tell me who you are with another comment and I'll put it up here. If it's polite, if it's polite. What is your current CCW? I carry the Hellcat primarily. I also carry a PM9. I'm in the market to replace my 43X. Love the gun, but kind of like a bad trigger, or kind of like some a tad bigger. Yeah, get the Hellcat Pro. That would be awesome. Raphael's in the house. Awesome. What do we have? 135 guys in here. I appreciate it, fellas. Um, I want to talk a little bit about something else. I think I hit all my talking points, but every gun review I do, Romans, I don't know if I mentioned him. He's been a long time follower. Every gun review I do, people say, where's the lip wrist test? You have no idea how bad I want to let that thing go. And people say, no, you have to do a lip wrist test. But let me back up a little bit and tell you how this whole thing started. I came up with the idea to do a lip wrist test because I think it was with a Glock, because everybody says if a Glock fails, it's the shooter's problem because they held the gun with a limp wrist. Because you couldn't be a Glock's problem. It has to be the shooter's problem because Glocks don't fail. And so I had some failures in Glocks. And if it's not the shooter's limp wrist, it's the ammo. It's everything but a Glock. And Glock themselves say, well, you must have violated the warranty. You must have put hand loads in there and violated the warranty if there's something wrong with your gun. Well, no, it broke. And I need you to fix it because you have a warranty. Well, what exactly did you do to make this happen? It's like, come on. If it's built by people, then it could get damaged or broken or ruined. Anyhow, yeah, that's so I did a limp wrist test. Okay. I did it many years ago. So I held the gun with a limp wrist. What I did not know is that I made a goofy face. I was like this. And I wasn't trying to do that. I was like, and I'm doing this lip wrist test. People thought it was great. They thought it was planned. It was not planned. It was just me being dumb. Okay. And so here I am being dumb. People said that was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. And I'm like, that was funny. What did I do? Look at your face. And so I'm like, all right, you idiots, I'll give you something to look at. So the next one I did the lip wrist test, and I was like, and people said, that was great. You have to do that more and more and more. And I'm like, what the heck? The lip wrist. So then it became a thing. Then I started dancing around. I start burping. I start making these stupid noises and words and everything. And people say, where's the lip wrist test if I don't do it? And most of the time, and TAB videos could verify this as well as rider's range. I'm all packed up, and they said, "Well, hang on, you didn't do a limp wrist test." I was like, "Oh, come on, the limp wrist test?" They said, "Yeah, you have to do a limp wrist test." And then if I say, "You know what, I'm done," or if it's, then I post a video and they say, "You didn't have a lip wrist test. I'm so disappointed." So, thank you, Jacob. Makes the best. I tell you what, I'm running out of faces to be original. I'll tell you that. You can only go so many times. How about this one? Maybe I could do that one next time. Lippers test could be changed to low hand strength test for those no longer. Yes, you are correct. That is part of the things I've been criticized by some people that says I'm making fun of mentally challenged people. If you knew me personally, you would understand. And this is nobody in here, by the way. But by saying that I would make fun of somebody who's mentally challenged, well, you would deserve a punch in the nose if you knew me personally, because that is the last thing I do. You guys have no idea. And I never intended on saying this, but I do a lot of I don't even want to say it. Charity. Okay, how about that? Charity. I'll just leave it there. All right. You can let that one go. All right, Raphael. All right. I'll let that one. Maybe I'll do it and I'll say, "Hey, Raphael," and do the limp wrist test. Okay. Yes, but you're right, Jeff. The lip wrist test is one of the things that people want, but it also represents a true test for weaker hands, or if you don't have a fighter's grip on that gun, or you're injured and you're trying to get that round off and you're injured, you have a limp wrist. Uh, did I decide what suppressor I'm going to use for the Strybog 10? Yes, I did. I'm having an issue with it. It's the Silencer Co. Omega 36M. I was actually in Salt Lake City for the launch of the Omega 36M made by Silencer Co. And I did a factory tour there too. I tell you what, that place is a well-oiled machine. What a beautiful city Salt Lake City is. What a place to go. Beautiful mountains. We went up on the mountains and there were trails going around the mountains, and I got a little wheezy in the stomach, I almost blew chunks with the guy next to me, a writer for Guns and Ammo. I was like, "Excuse me." It was just all the motion and the twisting and turning going up the mountain. But anyhow, yeah, yeah, we ate lunch and then did all these twists and turns, and this guy almost got a lap filled with puke. But you go up this mountain and people live on the mountain. Like they live in like some crater on the side of a mountain with this house sticking out in the middle of nowhere with a little trail to walk down to their garage. It's crazy. It's beautiful though. And you get to the mountain and you get near the top of the mountain, and there's a lake where people are water skiing and fishing and people with docks. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. Now, I live on a lake up in northern Michigan. My wife and I bought a house up in northern Michigan on a lake. It is on the main land. This is like way up on top of a mountain, and people are just walking like it looks like a carnival on this lake on top of a mountain, and it's gorgeous. It's just so beautiful. I love that. Salt Lake City, I could live there. Um, hey, Nutty, thanks for coming here. First TFG live. Well, you didn't miss too much because this is only my third one. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the interaction, even if it's this. You guys may notice, I tell you what, I spend a lot of time responding to comments. I hope you guys know that. Some people say, yeah, like you're like the only one that does that. I respect the viewers of this channel so much, and the way I look at it is if they're going to take the time to watch my video, that I need to and then leave a comment, I need to respond. Sometimes life gets priority first, and then I don't get to all of them, but when life takes a priority, then that is the priority, and that's what I have to do. I've got a life outside of YouTube like everybody else here does. I drive a lightly modified Tacoma. I do quite a bit of off-road. Oh, I bet that's beautiful. Sasaki Samdi. Wow, what a name. I wish I had a name that cool. All right. Hey, thanks, Cam. I appreciate that, Cam. Cam is a young man. We've been in touch outside of the YouTube forums and everything. And he's a young man that has a growing channel. He's done a lot with shorts, wants to get into more reviews. Check him out. Cam Gaylor Outdoors. Nice young man. I think he has a future in this if he sticks to it. It can be stressful, I will tell you. Let's see. Yes, I went to the car booth, Matt. Of course I did. I consider the people at car my friends. And you say, "Oh, there you go again, cozying up with the big brother. Yeah, no wonder why you get guns." No, no, I'm not cozying up again with anybody. Well, my wife. Okay, that's private. None of your business. Anyhow, I went to the car booth. I consider those people my friends because I've known them for so long. And one thing about, do you recall I started this chat with saying that CZ goes through a ton of people changes, and you see all these people from every manufacturer, like they jump around from the engineers to the marketers to the bean counters. They jump around from company to company. Oh, so and so is going to pay me more over here. I'll go over here, and they're all this jumping around. You don't see that with the Car Firearms Group. They are like a family, and I told them that when I launched that video. Um, the agreement made was, you are a tester and we need your feedback with the X9. And I did that and I shot it and I tested it and I gave my feedback. And I said, but I want to do the video now. And Justin Moon, the CEO and owner of the company, he said, Dan, you will be the first one to do the video on the X9. At that point, nobody even knew the name. I knew the name for over a year. And I said, that's great. And I said that on video. I will be the first one. And they held true to that. They are like a family. They love each other. One person said, hey, before you release the video, can you send it to me so I can make sure that it's accurate? And I said, absolutely, because I want it to be accurate. It has to be accurate. I don't want to say something that's not true. And they said it was great. They asked me to change one little thing, not because the video was wrong or I was wrong. It's that they weren't sure how they were going to do it at that moment. And I respected that. I'm like, I like that. Instead of, this is my review and you'll get what you get and that's it. They said, no, we want accuracy. And that's what I want, accuracy. That's why I have trigger scales. That's why I weigh the gun. That's why I do my homework before I do a review. So there's accuracy, not some clown up there just saying, oh, this is the best gun ever. Y'all should get this gun. You should do a video on low budget self defense that will recommend featuring a 9mm shotgun, necessary items like that, a low budget. I would do that. I would do that, but right now I'm snowed out of my range. But I could do that right now. I've got safes filled with budget guns, shotguns, and rifles, and it would not be hard for me to do it all. It's funny because you have a lot of budget people, and then you have a lot of high end people, and and I've always been one that says, hey, if it shoots, it's worthy, budget priced or not. So I'm going to definitely keep that in my long term memory. And then D Rod says, good evening, everyone. Dan, love the channel, sir. I appreciate that, D Rod. Thanks for coming aboard. Thanks for being here right now. So the Diamondback SDR looks super cool. I'm wondering if it's a true stainless because it is really shiny, really shiny. But I don't know if you guys noticed, I've been putting up a ton of videos lately. And one of the things, views and subs, it's like a roller coaster. You have your peaks and valleys. Ideas, this is the part nobody comes up with. Ideas have peaks and valleys too. And when the mind is thinking, wow, I could do this, like the one I put out yesterday, the did Bursa outperform the Daniel H9 and the Staccato C? That was just an idea. I'm like just sitting there and just this stupid idea popped in my head, and I said, "Okay, let's do it." And I just did the video, and it was that easy for me, and I did the entire in its entirety in two separate takes. The first one, I didn't like it, and then I turned the camera off. I said, "I'm going to do it again." I did it again, went live, and it's viewing pretty well. So that's it's but ideas when ideas see, here's the truth, okay? People say, "Oh, you're rich." It's not true. People say, "Oh, you're smart." It's not true. I'm a dummy. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now. I am not smart. I was horrible in school. I have a master's degree, okay? But I was horrible at school, but I was very athletic and I knew how to work hard. And I tell people all the time, I said, listen, you're going to have people tell you that your success is determined by your education. Do not believe that. Do not believe that. Your success is not determined by your education. It could help. It makes a resume look nice and fluffy. Okay. I have that stuff. I have a master's degree. I have postgraduate training and all this stuff. And they say, well, then you're the last person that should be saying this. I say, no, I'm the first person that should be saying this. You know why? Because it isn't true. Your success is determined on your work ethic and how your determination is and how goal driven you are. I don't give a crap what it is. If you want to lose weight, stop stuffing your face with ice cream and cookies and get off the couch and go walk around. If you're determined, you will do that. If you want to save money, stop spending money, figure out where your money's going, and make a plan and stick to the plan. But you have to be determined. You can't be wishy-washy and say, well, just this one time. If you want to quit alcohol, stop alcohol right now. Have determination, have conviction. That's where I've learned to be successful. Where I'm successful, okay? Don't let me get a big head here, but I am absolutely convinced that when people say you will only be as good as your education, walk away because you cannot have a conversation with that people because they're so educationally driven. All right. I've owned several businesses in my life. I still do. I still do. And I am absolutely convinced that education is this much compared to ambition, determination, and conviction. That is where you'll find your success. And yep, right there. Yes, I saw Jeb Bush is in the house. No. Yes, I stopped by HK. It's about as exciting as Glock. Seriously, it's about as exciting as Glock. Here we have my new friend, Shooting Gallery. What's up? Nice guy. Talked to him on the phone once when he was talking to Smash Time. I like him. Mr. Obvious. What a cool name that is. I wish if I could do it all over again, I'd be Mr. Obvious. I'm a believer that life is as hard as you make it. Yes. And stop being a flipping victim. That's the one thing I'm so sick of is everybody wants to be a victim, Oh, my mom didn't love me. Oh, so and so got a raise and I didn't get a raise. Well, you probably didn't get the raise because you didn't do what it took to get the raise. Okay? So, to expect excellence but give off mediocrity will never get you to excellence. And so I guess I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I feel very strong about this because by the way, I started off by saying I'm a dummy. Huh? Huh? Don't think I'm arrogant. I said I am a dummy. And it's true, but I know how to work hard. And that is where you'll find your success. Trust me. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thanks, guys. There goes 10 subscribers. I'm gonna log on. 10 subscribers are gone because you offended me. You said that we shouldn't have an entitlement mentality. Well, that's the problem with people and the younger people especially. They want to be on their phones all the time and when they should be working. What happened to hard work? Why is it that people want stuff just given to them? I alluded to this earlier when people said, you must be rich because you have all these guns. I'm not rich, but I try to be smart with my money, and if I want to prioritize buying a gun, I could do that because I'm not doing all this other stuff that makes my money go away. And so, if we all just did a little more of that, we would be in a better position. Simon Walton, he's in the house from Denver. Good to see you, Simon. Good to see everybody here. Oh man, for those just joining, I talked about the CZ downslide and what's happening over there and how the name is Colt CZ Group, not CZ Colt Group. It is my belief that Colt's running the show over there on the US side of things. I talked about Bursa, I talked about the car X9. For all you guys popping in here, hit that like button for me. Get on the algorithm. Maybe somebody else can see it. I talked about SHOT Show and what it was like. I went to a lot of places, not a lot of stuff. A lot excited me, but it was either too crowded or not very accommodating um, to do a video anyhow. When I first my first time I went to SHOT, I never worked so hard in my life. I was all over the place. I wanted to review everything, and I took the attitude that SHOT was about the reviewer, not the reviewer, but all the reviews and all that. Like that was my reality with SHOT. Like it's a reviewer paradise. And I treated my first couple of years like that. Now that I've been there 10 years, I treat it like educational. Get education from this. Figure out what direction you want to go, what you want to pursue, what the feedback your viewers are telling you, and pursue those avenues. Don't try to make it a viewer's paradise because those videos are horrible and you're horrible at them. So don't do that. Instead, be wise, get education, work with people, make contacts, try to get in stuff that your viewers would want for content purposes, and be a oh be a champion of the TFG community. I don't say that with arrogance. Be a champion for your viewers and take their suggestions. And I try to do that. Richard Z, thank you. My ammo fund just got $5 richer. I appreciate you. Let's see. It's the apocalypse, and only you could have a revolver. Which is it? Wow, good topic. It wouldn't be my Colt Python because if it's the POC, maybe it would be so I can pretend I can't even remember the guy's name. I was so not into that zombie show. It wasn't John Wick, it was that other guy. Oh well. I have a Colt Python. It's a 94. I'll probably do a side by side with Ryder's blue one. His is from the 80s. But it would probably be if I had to grab a revolver. My revolvers out that are 357, they're all 6 shots. I would probably go with my Rock Island AL. Is it called 3.0? Yeah, 3.0. It's blued. Rock Island AL 3.0. I would go with that because it's small enough. It's still a 6 shot and it is 357 Magnum. That's what I would go with. How about a Smith 327? Are they even making ammo for 327? Oh, hang on. Sorry, RBM. RBM is a great channel follower too. How about Smith 327? You never hear about 320. I remember 10 years. Rick Grimes. Thanks, Lucky Dog. You're right, Rick Grimes. He was the John Wick during that series. Dirty Harry pistol, yeah. Um, maybe I would go with that, but the 327, I remember 10 years ago, that seemed to be going head to head with the 357, and then for the last 8 years, you never heard about it. And then we have shooting gallery over here. Thanks, bud. Ammo fun. Let's see, get on the podcast. He runs a podcast too. You have to teach me how to do all that flashy stuff. I don't know that I would do it, but it's pretty cool. He's got all this stuff and channel sponsors and all this. Like, I just pop on here and oh, I got you, Ryder. Now I got you. Okay, so that model itself is a 357 Magnum. Okay, I got you. I got you now. Okay, yeah, I'd love to try it, Ryder. I'll have to pick up some more 357 Magnum. Ryder just had shoulder surgery. I tell you what, last time I was out to his range, I was having trouble, and he gave me a couple pointers. Now this guy, he can shoot. He's really good. And he gave me a couple pointers, and they really, really helped. And I'm super grateful for that. Very, very grateful for his wisdom. That's another thing. If you want to be successful, and I don't want to pretend like I'm the model of success. I'm not. And I'm not smart. But if you have determination and you learn from people who've been doing it longer and better, if you just take the time and humble yourself and accept their guidance, you will become a more productive person. And I became a more productive shooter because Ryder helped me, and I bowed down to his excellence. No, I didn't do that. We're good friends. We're good friends. And I love shooting at his range, and I love hanging out with him. And TAB videos too. What a great guy he is. I've got some of the most fine people in my life. I'm so thankful. Super Red Hawk or GP 100. I still want a GP 100. I went to the Ruger booth. Everybody wants to talk about the 45 ACP carbine. Okay, we could talk about that. Love the concept. Would love to get one. No doubt about that. But that GP 100, it's been about a year I've been talking about getting it. I still don't have it, but I want to get it because that thing, it's just a great revolver. 7 shot. It's a 7 shot, and I would put some nice fine wood grips on there and treat it like my little sweetheart. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, the SBO1. I had one with an 8 pound spring kit in there. Hogra XS standard front. Wow, that sounds like a great setup. That's one I regret getting away from. I traded it, and looking back, I did not get the better end of that trade. I wish I still had that because what I ended up trading for, I ended up getting rid of anyhow. Let's see. Somebody saying Dan the man. Hey, what's up, Dave, man? Sounds like you're the man, if that's your true last name. Wow, it's great to see everybody in here. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. I'm fine though. I could keep going. I just don't want to turn this into something where it becomes boring or regurgitating the same crap. We've been going on about a little over an hour. Scott Hughes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There, my ammo fund's all of a sudden getting better. I'm listen, with everything coming in, I'm going with 357 Magnum. That's the ammo I'm getting. Now I regret saying how much I left, but I watch you faithfully. Temp because of your integrity, honesty, not comedy. Hey, I appreciate that, Scott. I said a lot of stupid things in this chat, so I'm not sure how long you've been, but I also said some encouraging things. I said some encouraging things. I hate that. I hate that when people say education is the key to your success. It's not. It's not. It's your determination and your willingness to learn. That's what it is. But I appreciate that, Scott. Thank you. By the way, for those just joining us, I talked about channel memberships and if there was a true interest of me opening channel memberships, and I played around with the ideas of what I could do as a facilitator of the channel memberships. What can I do to make it worth everybody's while. And I could do a live chat. We could all get around. I could have guests on too. But I could also do monthly giveaways. And I've got a ton of knives. I got this $70 next belt, never opened. I've got these Beretta muffs, never opened. I've got this huge tech mat with, which one is this again? This is another Beretta BRX1, that bolt action hunting rifles, big tech mat, probably 20 bucks with that. That would be the least expensive of what I just showed. But I've got some sweet knives I could give away. I got brand new hats that I never touch. I've got so much crap in this room. It's I think I could make some people very happy. But in order to do that, I would have channel members, and that is set up by YouTube. And in order to do that, it would be a monthly fee. And that's the only way you could do that, because to have a channel member, well, that would be your subscriber count. So there's no reason to do anything other than that. And plus, I've never done Patreon or anything. I have a weird feeling about that. Hey, give me money. Hey, do this. And and Kurt made a good point right here. Well, that's Nutty. Hang on, Nutty. I'll put that back up there. Kurt said you could do early video releases also, and that is true. I can show you the video before it goes live. If that's even attractive to you, I mean, if you want to see it, I could do it. Sometimes I can show you 4 or 5 before they go live. Other times I'll say, hey, and that's another thing. From the very beginning, this has always been a one-man show. I've taken ideas, but if I had channel members, we could do a chat like this and come up with ideas. And then when I make the video, I'd say, hey, I had a live chat with my channel members, and collectively we came up with this idea, and that is the direction we're going with this video. And then go that route. That would be awesome. That would be so helpful. And that another thing is, it would be a more personal way to receive suggestions. And so if someone says, hey, I really want this gun reviewed, I want to see it, I want to see you shoot it, I want to see all the specs on it because I'm thinking about getting it, and then I know my buddy has one, I can go borrow it and do it and everything. It's just another way to get to know the viewers a little bit better. CLP. Yeah, I use Ballistol and I use Hornady 9. Yeah, Ballistol is good stuff. You don't want to put too much on though. But Ballistol works on every part of metal, whatever it is. SB01 Phantom. Yes, I have it. Polymer frame pistol. I thought I really wanted that one, but once I was able to get it, they were discontinued. Do you know why they dropped that design? Yes, because they had the P09 and they were competing against themselves. It's the same gun. It's essentially the same gun as the P07, P09 in the case of that with the 4.7-inch barrel. It's the same gun. So they have the steel model, they have the polymer model. I have it too. And they still have the P09. So you're hitting the same market, the people who want the longer barrel, what, 18 round magazines in a polymer frame. And so that's why they got rid of it. They probably saw a dip in both the Phantom and they said this is stupid. And so that's what happened there. What's this say here? Romans, bear pistols or the P10s. I'm kind of scared to deal with CZ at this moment. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they could survive. When I made my video, I didn't want to give the impression that what horrible situation they're in now is unsurvivable. I didn't want to give that impression, but I also wanted to let everybody know this is not good for CZ. They are hurting. And when they acquired Colt, multi-million dollar debt they took on. It tripled their debt, and they ended up letting go a bunch of people. And then they say, "Well, look, our financials are really good." Hey, your financials look good because you got rid of all the people and you had all those guns still in stock that you were still selling. Give it the next year and see how well your financials are doing. Don't just make some quick little business move and try to make it seem as if you're growing. You're trying to grow cold. That's your motivation, to grow cold. It's like you'd think the whole thing was the other way around. Okay, just sent you an email to the address list on YouTube. Thanks. Okay, Floodgates, I'll take a look at that. I don't know. Sometimes I literally get my inbox flooded. And a lot of times it's these Chinese companies wanting me to review something I have no interest in. Okay, cool, Jeff. I appreciate that, man. Helped you get some guns. Good. I appreciate that. And then Guns and Blade says she loved me long time. Well, that's good. We should all have a fine woman that does that. Okay. Sleep with my Rammy. Love the Rammy. Glad I have one too. All right. Any other suggestions? What do we have here? Triggerman 109 says, well, a dude from that country bought most ammo produced here, and I hate it. Are you talking about Cellular and Balat? It's possible. All right, guys. Well, hey, let's wrap it up here. I kind of feel like I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I said this on the last chat, and I want to repeat it because I think it's important. One of the best compliments I can receive on this channel is when people tell me your followers are so loyal. They follow and they watch your videos no matter what. And you get way more likes than most other creators. And I said that when I hear that, I get all fuzzy and chilly inside and get the goosebumps and everything because that's important. And I think that's important. And I want you to know that your loyalty to the TFG channel is reciprocated from the creator of TFG channel. Although, and I will always say this, we are all TFG. You're looking at the front man, but we are all the family. And so I appreciate you. You're awesome. You're great individuals, and I learn more from having this channel than I could possibly give out. And I approach this whole thing with a humble heart and a grateful heart that it's even gotten to this point. And it's that grateful heart for the people of TFG that makes me want to produce more and more and more. And for that, I am thankful. I appreciate you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.